We had a little issue with this spreader, and it's not really the spreader's fault. It's just the design of the brake system on this spreader. The way it works is there is a master cylinder in the tongue, and when you're hooked to the tractor, the weight of the spreader pushes against the tow vehicle, and it applies brakes to the front axle on this. And it works great when you're hooked to a tractor and out in the field and working. It helps keep you from pushing the tractor around on steep slopes and stuff. But the problem was we needed to pull this thing down the road with a load on it. We put about 4 tons on it. We needed to take it to a job, so we put the weight on it. We put 4 tons of lime in it, and we live on a mountain, and we were working down at the foot of the mountain. So we hooked this thing to a pickup, and we're pulling it down the mountain. Well, there was always pressure on the tongue, so the brakes were on the whole way down the mountain. About halfway down the mountain, the brakes were so hot there was smoke just rolling everywhere. So we decided to alleviate this problem by making this device right here. And that's the bracket that we're going to use to store it on, so it's always with this machine. But you just take this bracket right here and you stick it down over the tongue like so, and you put this pin through it, and what that does is keeps the tongue from pressing onto the master cylinder. The master cylinder is back in here. Brake fluid reservoirs here. But what this does is just makes the brakes where they're inoperable, so you can pull it with a pickup down the road and you can go down hills and it doesn't apply the brakes. Now the disadvantage to this is there's no braking when you're pulling it with a pickup, so you're just going to have to be extra careful. And I know to never load this thing with lime fully with 8 tons and hook it to a pickup. It just is not safe. You shouldn't do it at all. But the owner's manual actually recommends to never tow it on the road with a vehicle with a load in it. But that would be very, very inconvenient, especially during fertilizer time, where I would take this buggy and I would go to my local southern states and I would get a load of fertilizer on it, which would only be about 4 tons. Full of fertilizer would be 4 tons, maybe 4.5. But that's plenty fine to pull with a pickup. I've pulled that many times with a pickup, and as long as you're careful, you shouldn't have any trouble with it. So this was kind of necessary to keep from burning the brakes off of this unit. Now once you get it hooked back to a tractor, you can take that off, hang it back up there on that bracket. It's a little bit of a snug fit. Put this pin to hold it onto this bracket, and there you go. Now you're good to go back into a steep or rolling land field with the tractor, and you have brakes again. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you ever had that problem, that is one way to alleviate it. So y'all have a good evening, and we'll see you next time.